Die GEN-Z Vineyard Project het eintlik 'n baie lang aanloop. Ons as wingerdboukundiges het deur die jare agtergekom en ervaar dat die sogenaamde boereproewe of ook die demopersele in kommersiële wingerdblokke eintlik 'n baie doeltreffende en effektiewe manier was om nuwe navorsingsbevindinge of nuwe tegnologie of nuwe wingerdpraktyke aan wynprodusente bloot te stel, bekend te stel. Het gaan maar oor die beginsel van sien is glo, waar jy produsente kan bring na 'n spesifieke perseel waar hulle dan kan vir hulle self sien wat die resultate is. Ons het 'n voorlegging gedoen aan ons Vinpro direksie. Met groot dankbaarheid het hulle die eerste begroting vir 2017-18 finansiële jaar goedgekeur en vandaar het ons offisieel begin. Met daai fondse kon ons vir Emma Karkiek aanstel voltyds om aandag te gee aan die projek. En ons het ook nou reeds 2 junior wingerdboukundiges wat ons gedeeltelik help met die projek en ook 'n wingerdkundige internskap wat ons help ook om jong mense op te lei.
The GEN-Z Vineyard Project is a knowledge and technology transfer project aimed at sharing locally relevant information with the South African wine growers to help make informed decisions in their vineyards. We want to help growers future-proof their vineyards by connecting them to technical information that can help optimize their vineyard systems, as well as build climate resilience by making the best possible selection of cultivars, clones and rootstocks for their site. The project focuses on 3 main areas. The first component is an interplanting demo network, which consists of a variety of demo sites established in commercial vineyards across the wine regions. At the moment, we have about 50 demos that were planted between 2018 and 2022. The second component of the project involves the demonstration of newer and existing vineyard management practices. This includes pruning methods suited to cultivars, production targets, and vineyard health. We also look at different trellis systems, as well as cover cropping. And the final focus area is vineyard technology, meaning innovative tools, implements, sensors, and probes. The cultivar demos look at the suitability of emerging as well as widely planted cultivars by evaluating their performance in response to soil, climate, and vineyard management techniques. We are just outside Rawsonville in the Breede Kloof region, and this is a white cultivar demo that was planted in 2021 on a deep, dry, sandy soil. We have 19 cultivars grafted on Ramsey rootstock and trained on a high-wire system with irrigation. The idea with this demo is to evaluate a few of the emerging cultivars in terms of their performance, growth, phenological timing, as well as disease susceptibility. The needs for each region are different, but at this demo specifically, we are looking as an adaptive strategy at cultivars that could fit into the dry white category, that perhaps show promise in terms of disease resistance and possibly ripen a bit earlier but have a sort of a medium bud break due to the risk of frost.
This demo was planted in 2021, so it's still in the early stages of development. Once it's fully developed, we'll be looking and we'll be evaluating, comparing the yield. We'll be looking at some bunch and berry parameters as well as the fruit composition. Then we will be looking at the nearest weather stations data and use this in combination with the grape data that we've collected.
So we plan to gather data from this demo that can support farmers in their decision making when it comes to cultivar selection. Selecting an appropriate rootstock is one of the key decisions to make when establishing a new vineyard and has a major impact on the success and longevity of one's vineyard. Rootstock choice is determined by soil chemistry, water availability, pest pressure, the sign cultivar, and whether you want your grapes to ripen a bit earlier or later. Rootstock choice is also a great viticultural tool in climate adaptation. We have 13 rootstock demos across the wine growing regions on varying soil types. These demos evaluate the performance of various rootstocks in response to soil type and water availability. And we aim to plant the demos or establish the demos on soil types that are fairly common to the ward or district, so as to provide results that are more specific to the area and conditions.
So this is the Otterkel demo, and it was established in 2019, so it's in the 5th year since establishment. It consists of 2 different Chenin Blanc clones and 1 Pinotage clone, all planted on 10 different rootstocks. It's a dryland bush vine, and the soil has been described as moderate to deeply weathered soil on sandstone, shale or granite. We compiled a list for all of the soils within the wine industry by area, and this allows us to make comparisons based on soils and area. We started monitoring this demo in 2003. We do this to look at the different rootstocks and their suitability to the soil type, the climatic conditions and the water availability. Each year we will continue to monitor this demo. We test the yield, the berry volume, bunch compaction and basic juice analysis yearly. In the winter months we also come, we prune the canes and we weigh them, and this gives us an indication of the growth. This demo will not only benefit Otterkel farm but also surrounding farms in the area when they need to make decisions based on rootstocks.
Ons wil net namens die Otterkel span baie dankie sê vir GEN-Z vir hierdie wonderlike voorreg wat ons het om hierdie proewe op ons perseel te kan hou. Ons is bevoorreg om deur hierdie proses te gaan en waar te neem wat werk in ons droëland omstandighede. Soos my pa is 'n man wat gedurende kontrole neem, en dit help met die besluitneming vir ons in die toekoms wat ons kan gebruik en wat werk op ons grond.
In addition to our cultivar and rootstock demos, we have 17 clone demos which are spread across the winelands. The purpose of these demos is to evaluate clonal expression in response to different growing conditions. And although the differences between clones can be quite small, this kind of information can help with clonal selection when planting a new vineyard or designing a new vineyard. At these demos we look at, or we compare the clones by evaluating yield, bunch and berry parameters, fruit composition and in some cases phenology. And the data that we collect from these demos is available to the growers on our website. This vineyard in which we are standing is at Kanonkop in Stellenbosch. Here we have 11 clones of Cabernet Sauvignon grafted on the rootstock 10114. Stellenbosch is obviously quite well known for its Cabernet Sauvignon, so we hope that we will be able to collect some useful information, data from this demo. It was planted in 2017, so it is one of our older demos, and we have monitored 3 seasons of this demo. There are over 100 vines of each combination, which means that we are able to make small-scale wines. We managed to do this in 2023, and we did find differences in the aromatic profile and the mouthfeel between the clones, but we would like to collect more data over a couple more seasons in order to identify any trends. But we are hopeful that this kind of data can be useful to winemakers when making decisions on what clones to plant.
So we got involved with the GEN-Z project a couple of years ago because Cabernet is one of the big focuses on Kanonkop, and you know there's a lot of information out there, there's a lot of new things going on, and we just wanted to get our heads around that. So we planted these different clones on the property next to each other, and also in volumes that we could use to make some wine out of, because that's the final objective, is to get the best possible and quality wine. So the vineyard is now, I think, in about 6 years old, more or less. We've made some wine from it, and really interesting stats that we've got. One of the most interesting aspects is that one of the clones that we already use quite a bit of has the least amount of growth. So when you compare it to the other clones, the weight of the shoots are just much less on this specific clone, and we learned so much from that the plant starts to focus on the ripening of the fruit and not only try to produce vegetative material. And also, you know, the yields that sometimes you think, okay, this clone can only give you that amount of grapes. You see actually in this trial that the yields are keeping up with the high quality clones that we want to use. So a lot of very interesting factors. I think unfortunately everything that's new isn't always better. So a lot of new clones out there, but for us the confirmation that the clones that we're already using are the right clones for this property, and we could only prove that by doing this clonal trial. And this is also specific to our property and to this site. I think, you know, that this must be duplicated in different areas to see if they also get the same type of results. And yeah, so excited for the way forward. Easier for us to make the right decisions going forward. And great to have trials like this in the industry that actually adds value to the day-to-day farming practices and what people do. It's not only experimental, but actually there's results. So very happy to be part of it, and hopefully in the future also to be part of the Gen Z project.